I knew I'd do that from a book darker in Matthew chapter 6. Did you ever do that one? Go to the wrong one, and you read it, and everybody looks actually like you're reading the wrong thing. But Mark 6, verse 30 to 44. The apostles gathered around Jesus and reported to him all they had done and taught. Then, because so many people were coming and going, they did not even have a chance to eat. He said to them, "Come with me by yourselves to a quiet place and get some rest." So they went away by themselves in a boat to a solitary place. But many who saw them leaving recognized them and ran on foot from all the towns and got there ahead of them. When Jesus landed and saw a large crowd, he had compassion on them, because they were like sheep without a shepherd. So he began teaching them many things. By this time it was late in the day, so his disciples came to him. "This is a remote place," they said, "and it's already very late. Send the people away so they can go to the surrounding countryside and villages and buy themselves something to eat." But he answered, "You give them something to eat." They said to him, "That would take 8 months of a man's wages. Are we to go and spend that much on bread and give it to them to eat?" "How many loaves do you have?" he asked them. "Go and see." When they found out, they said, 5, and 2 fish. Then Jesus directed them to have all the people sit down in groups on the grass. So they sat down in groups of hundreds and fifties. Taking the 5 loaves and 2 fish, and looking up to heaven, he gave thanks and broke the loaves. Then he gave them to his disciples to set before the people. He also divided the 2 fish among them all. They all ate and were satisfied. But the disciples picked up 12 basketfuls of broken pieces of bread and fish. The number of the men who had eaten was 5,000. Today's passage is a very familiar story. It's one of the ones you teach the little kids when they're little. You all know that Jesus feeds 5,000 just men. So there's women and children, and so a lot of people eat from 5 loaves, 2 fish. Take it at face value, that's an impressive miracle. Now, I've been to buffets before, and I see how far 5 loaves and 2 fish will go. I know you're looking up ahead, you're seeing how much is there, you're calculating how many people in front of you, and you're hoping there's some left when you get there. Or they bring that fresh tray out and sit in there, and that's always the best. And so, but it's how Jesus got to this moment. It's not the feeding of the 5,000, it's how they arrived at this moment that we need to focus on this morning, because there's a lot of things happening leading up to this moment. Earlier in Mark chapter 6, Jesus sends the 12 out. He sends them out, 2 by 2, and he gave them, and this is the first time he did this, he gave them authority over evil spirits. And he told them, take nothing for the journey, except a staff, no bread, no bag, no money in your belts. Wear sandals, but not an extra tunic. So he's sending them out, kind of the backpack, basically, or no backpack, just a staff. And he means a stick, not what would be a staff today, not a whole bunch of people. So whenever you enter a house, stay there until you leave that town. And if any place will not welcome you, listen to you, shake the dust off your feet when you leave as a testimony against them. Mark 6:12 says they went out and preached that people should repent. They drove out many demons and anointed many sick people with oil and healed them. Now Herod, in the meantime, hears what Jesus is doing and the disciples are doing, and he mistakenly thinks that John the Baptist has been raised from the dead. You see, they're hearing about resurrection, and a lot of people who aren't really with Jesus, you know how you hear something, but you don't hear the whole story, so you make stuff up? It happens all the time. So you make stuff up, and what Herod heard part of this, he thinks John's been resurrected because all this stuff's happening. And Mark will tell the story about what happened to John. Herod thought he killed John, so Herod's all fired up. He thinks John's raised from the dead. But some try to convince him that Jesus is Elijah. Others try to convince Herod that he's a prophet, but Herod is convinced that John has been raised from the dead. He obviously has his wires totally crossed, because we all know that John the Baptist is not Jesus, or Jesus is not John the Baptist. And so they're 2 totally different guys. And in the meantime, the disciples come back. They gather around Jesus, and they're telling him about their ministry. It's almost like missions festival. They're coming back and they're reporting what happened in their ministry. And while this is happening, lots of people are gathering. When the Holy Spirit is moving and powerful ministry is happening, people show up. People gravitate toward what the Holy Spirit is doing. And he got so busy they didn't have a chance to eat. And so Jesus says to them, come by yourselves. Let's go off to a quiet place. Because they went off by themselves, they got in the boat, they went to a solitary place. But we see that a lot of people, and this is kind of frustrating for us. If you ever tried to spend some time by yourself, you know where people follow you? It's like, you don't understand, I'm going over here, I'm going to run. But Jesus, the people follow him. And they can't not. They have to. And so he sees that he has compassion on them because they're like sheep without a shepherd. They clearly have nothing to do but follow him. And because he knows who he is. He knows why they want to follow him, and he has compassion on them. So he starts teaching. And before you knew it, it's late in the day. Now the fact that they haven't eaten is a factor. They're hungry. And there's nothing to eat. And so the disciples come to Jesus. They have a very practical problem. Send the people away, Jesus, so they can go to the countryside and get something to eat. They're going to need to eat. Get them out of here. That's a good idea, right? That's pretty smart. They were thinking ahead. But Jesus has another idea. He has another plan. And he says to the disciples, you give them something to eat. Now put yourself in the shoes of the disciples. What do you think? What about the crowd? What if you're in the crowd? Most of us, if we're in the crowd, we're looking at our watches, wondering, you'll start doing that in a little bit if I keep preaching for too long. How long is he going to be? I'm getting hungry. And most of you just ate a couple hours ago. You get hungry. People are, they're getting hungry. But obviously some of the crowd don't really care because they want to hear Jesus. And so maybe some left early so they can get a good seat at the restaurant or a good parking spot. Maybe some chose not to follow Jesus to that solitary place because they were hungry, but these folks that were there, 5,000 men, and they're women and children, but the folks were hungry for what Jesus had to offer. So much so that food became a secondary priority. But nonetheless, Jesus still has a plan. He wants his disciples to give them something to eat. They have what they just think about what they just did. They just spent however long casting out demons, healing the sick, ministering to people, and they're excited about it. And now they're a little bit concerned about some food. So Jesus tells them to get something to eat, so they call a finance meeting. And they determine it's going to take 8 months' wages to feed this crowd. Do you really want us to spend all that much money on to feed this crowd one time? Is that what we have X amount of dollars? You want us to spend all that on feeding this crowd? And Jesus asked them, how many loaves do you have? And they do some calculating. Maybe they called a different meeting and they figured out 5 and 2 fish. Now, from a practical standpoint, that's simply not enough food. But Jesus says, bring them here to me. And you know what happens next. Jesus has them all sit down in the grass. He takes the loaves, the fishes, looks up to heaven, gives thanks, breaks the loaves, and gives them all to the people to eat. And what happened next was the incredible miracle. Something happened to the loaves of bread and the fish, and everybody ate not just a little bit. They were satisfied. I think most of us this week, we were satisfied and ate some more. That's where you run into trouble. I was satisfied a couple of days ago. And so I'm not going to eat for a couple of days, but that's okay. They were satisfied. Over 10,000 people probably ate that day. Men, women, and children, 5,000 men. As we look at our world today, we've just seen, we pray for the devastation in Texas, in Florida, and on the West Coast. There's clearly ministry needs out there. And as we look at them, it's easy to have compassion. I believe Jesus is saying the same thing to us that he said to the disciples that day. You give them something to eat. He wants us to take care of them. Jesus is telling us, not just us at Plum, but he's talking to us. We need to be a part of this recovery. We need to do something for them. You do something for them. And over the next couple of weeks, we're going to have Missions Festival. And the Missions Festival is a little bit different this year. Rather than just half a week worth of excitement about missions, we're going to have 3 weeks of getting excited about missions. We're going to have missionaries come and share with us, and we're going to hear some different things about what's going on with different missionaries, and we are going to have a missionary come in a couple of weeks. It's my hope that we will find a way this year to become the missionaries ourselves. We're the missions festival. We're the missionaries. Jesus told the disciples that they had to go and feed the people. He wanted them to be ministers. He wanted them to do the work. He's saying the same thing to us today. He wants us to be the ministers. I believe God's calling us to be his missionaries to people who need fed and have their home tree built, whether it's Texas, Florida, or Oregon or Washington, wherever it is. He's saying, you give them something to eat. And we might react the same way the disciples did. We don't have what it takes, Jesus. Not enough food, not enough time, not enough energy. But Jesus didn't ask the disciples if they had enough, did he? He didn't say, do you have enough? Oh, only 5 or 2 fish. Okay, you know what? Don't bother signing up for this. We'll get somebody else to do it. He simply said, you give them something to eat. And maybe we don't have what it takes. Maybe we don't have what it takes to go on a work trip and be missionaries. But Jesus isn't asking us if we have what it takes, is he? He is what it takes. If we have him, the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, he took what they had, 5 loaves and 2 fish, and he made it work. And if we're willing to give him all that we have, all 5 of our loaves and both of our fish, if we're willing to give that to him, you know what? He can make that work too. You know, he's able, more than able, to take whatever you give him and use it in a miraculous way. But we have to give him all. See that in all capitals. Bolded, all. You know, I wasn't thinking about the, man, there'll be a new closing song in there, but one of my favorite songs has a line in it that says, we never can prove the delights of his love until all on the altar we live. Until it's all right there. If they would have given him 4 loaves and 1 fish, would have been good enough. Not that 5 loaves and 2 fish is a whole lot better for that many people, but they had to give him all. If we give him all, then we can see the miracle. And I've had people say, why don't we see as many miracles today as we used to see? Well, we're giving him all. All 5. All 5 loaves and both fish. All Jesus wants to give us, he wants us to give them something to eat. Whether it's Texas, Florida, or in our own backyard. This missions festival, we become the missionaries. Right? We become the missionaries. Are we ready to do that? Let's pray. Father God, we thank you, Lord, for what you're calling us to do. We pray, Lord, you would make it clear where you want us to go, how you want us to minister, Lord. We're bringing you our fish, we're bringing you our loaves, we're bringing you our hands, our feet, our hearts. Lord, use us. Use us, and Lord, let us, we can't hold back. We can't hold back, Lord. The enemy, those that are serving the enemy, they're not holding back. We can't hold back. But all we have is yours. Lord, and here we are. Use us in your name. Amen.